Hey everybody, Jake here. What's going on? So, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. We do a lot of cool little modifications on stuff, making stuff. This is going to be another one of those little fun projects where it's something that you can probably do at home, modify some stuff, make some stuff like work for your off-road needs, as opposed to just buying something that's $50 to $100 or $200. So that's going to bring us to this. This is our camp shovel that we've been using for the last 4 or 5 years. As you can see, it's beat up, it's rugged, but like anything else that we do, we always want to make it just a little bit better. So I kind of want to turn this, do a couple modifications and make this a really awesome off-road shovel. So in order to do that, I kind of want to break down a couple things real quick before we get started. I'm going to show you some stuff that I'm going to add on. I explained everything, why I do things specifically, because for me there is a use to it and I want it to be useful. So first thing, we're going to keep the wooden handle. I prefer wooden handles. Not a big fan of fiberglass. Fiberglass is a pain in the butt because it gets stuck in your hands, and if it does get stuck in your hands, it's not very fun to get out. Another modification I already did on the shovel that I've had for a little while is I like to run a couple bolts through here. Reason for that is if I ever break the handle on this, hopefully if I'm lucky enough, maybe we're in a forest or something like that, I could break off a branch. I usually carry a drill a couple holes, and then I have a nice quick handle. That's in a perfect scenario if that does happen. And the other modification, we're going to do that right now, but I want to talk about before I did it. As you can see, I have already pre-cut some little teeth on this thing. So I know exactly what you're thinking. Why the hell are you going to put teeth in your shovel? That's just a fancy little thing that like off-roaders are doing now because it's cool. Well, so I actually did some research because I was kind of thinking the same exact thing that you were. It's like, okay, what's the point of that? But the interesting thing is nobody talks about what those are for their shovel. I see them all the time now. Every single shovel I see, I always see it, but nobody ever really talks about, especially on videos, what these are for when you cut them into your shovel. Excuse me. Well, I finally figured it out. So let me share some insight with you. The teeth actually have a specific purpose. They are designed to, when you cut the teeth in, they help for when you're, let's say you're off-roading in the snow and you have some hard pack ice. Ice is obviously kind of a pain in the butt to try and get a shovel into. So what the teeth do is actually kind of help you break apart the ice a little bit easier. Because as opposed to like I'm sure you've all done this, when we take a shovel and try and hit it on the flat surface, sometimes it kind of goes this way, kind of goes that way, but apparently with the teeth, it helps to kind of bind into the ice a little bit more and kind of helps to break it up a little bit easier. The other thing that I found out too was the teeth actually help for roots. So the roots, so like if you're cutting and you need to cut some roots or something like that, you can actually use the teeth, and as you're digging, you can actually, as long as you hit it right, you can use these teeth and kind of use that to cut up the roots. Because if you've ever tried cutting up roots with one of these shovels, you got to kind of hit it just perfectly right on here, versus putting the teeth on. Now as long as you hit it on this side or over on this side, you should theoretically be able to cut the roots. But like anything else, I usually do review videos on before and after of how everything works. So we're going to make some modifications to this. I'm probably going to use it for a little while, then I'll do a review video on stuff of why I liked it and why I didn't like it. The other modification we're going to do real quick is to the handle. I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to add a D-ring handle, and you'll kind of see what that looks like. But that's mostly because I like to have a nice handle that's usable, short, but also not too long. This is obviously going to vary. So yeah, let's get into it and let's start making an awesome off-road shovel. dig out your rig or dig out something out, you're probably going to be on your hands and knees and doing motions like this. So when you're doing stuff like that, it's kind of hard having a longer handle. So one, because obviously it's kind of big and awkward, sometimes you're going to be underneath your vehicle, which a longer handle might be a little bit harder to get into some of those spots. You might be banging it on your rig and stuff like that. So having a shorter handle is really nice, but having a too short a handle, like if a handle is like all the way down to here, that could also be kind of awkward too. So you got to kind of find that happy medium and where exactly it is that you want to have your handle at. Some people like it long, some people like it a little bit shorter. It's just all going to depend on you. So what my plan is and especially we'll see kind of, let me just show you this video when I was digging up the rear end of the Ford. The problem also was that pulling, sometimes I can't really get in there, so might actually have to dig down and pull out when I'm digging out my vehicle. So the problem in that scenario was I didn't have anything to grab onto when I was pulling out the shovel, which kind of a pain in the butt when you're trying to do that. So hence why we're going to put in a D-ring handle, and we're going to try and put that in somewhere probably right about right here, and that still kind of gives me enough height to where if I have my sandals, my shovel hitting straight up, standing straight up, I can still put it into the ground with my feet but still hold it in place. So I'm going to shoot for mine being right about right here. So the D handle is in place. I think that's going to work out pretty good right there. That's got a nice good length to it. So next thing up, I did have to kind of sand this up a little bit just to get that handle to slide on. So, and then I went ahead and just sanded everything else as well. So we're going to go ahead and put some paint on here, and then I'm going to put there's a little hole right here for a set screw to make sure this handle doesn't come off, and yeah, we're going to see how she looks. All right, everybody, so this is it. This is our new camping off-road shovel. Came out super awesome. Really like the way everything looks, and just added a whole lot more function to this too. I like to make myself as functional as possible. If something works, I keep it. If something doesn't work, I change it. So this is kind of just a direct reflection of what I like to do. And on top of that, we didn't just pay $150 to $200 for some of this crazy off-road shovel. Some of them are getting pretty crazy. This is literally, I just took what I had. I literally just finished this, I think it was like an hour maybe, with all the sanding and everything, and it's good to go again. This D handle, you know, you can buy one of these things I think on Amazon for like 10 bucks. Sanded the handle, super nice. Added the spikes, and then there's also something I do want to show you guys too, is that I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I do sharpen the sides of my shovel. That's something I like to do personally for cutting up branches and stuff like that. If there's like small little twigs or something like that that I can just, you know, get this and just quickly just kind of chop at it and knock it out. Super easy to do. That's just something I like to do. It's another cool little hack that you guys can appreciate, or you guys might want to do to your guys' shovel. And I know you guys are going to ask me, what's the handle length? So let's see. I'll just measure in the center here. Actually, I'll give you two measurements so you guys can kind of work with it a little bit. But from here to here, you know what? Actually, I'll make it easier for you guys. I'll go from the back of the blade of the shovel right here all the way to the handle. So let's see what our overall length is. So overall length is, I'm sitting right about 30 30.5 inches there. And then centerpiece for some of you guys, obviously it's going to depend on the shovel you have. You know, these might be shorter, longer, D handles might be different, but I'll give you an idea of that measurement. That is 14 inches. So we have 14 inches in the center here. So if you want to try mirroring my length, that's kind of what I used. So, but yeah, so super awesome project. I like building small stuff like this. Even sometimes the small stuff really matters. If you guys have other ideas or anything like that, I'm always open for ideas and stuff like that. Let me know if you guys have any other cool little modifications you've done to your own personal shovels. You know, throw them in the comments section. That way other people can see them. Hey, that's a cool idea, or hey, that's a great idea. I never thought of that. So yeah, please throw those in the comment section. I really appreciate all the support you guys have shown me. And yeah, you guys take care. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. You guys have an awesome weekend. Later.